One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. This episode of No Simple Road is proudly brought to you and sponsored by the one and only Shop
Tour Bus.
Go to shoptourbus.com and look out all the beautiful, amazing,
What?
incredible,
What?
stupendous, Grateful Dead inspired designs that they're putting on t-shirts and hoodies and stickers and all the fun stuff that we all love to collect and have and, wear our colors literally on our chests.
I'm wearing one right now.
Which one is that?
Let it grow.
That's beautiful.
Let it grow.
All these shirts are super comfy and soft and premium and beautiful, and the hoodies are amazing. All the designs are Grateful Dead songs told in picture. So it's not the, same old on your nose Grateful Dead art that you know. They have a couple new designs. One of them is the
Friend of the Devil.
Friend of the Devil design. Go over and look at that.
And the sticker's pretty dope too. I'm checking out the sticker, and it's kind of nice to be able to have all the slaps of the different styles that they've put out there.
Yep. And whatever you order is going to come in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside, a bunch of extras, and some of you are going to get a Miracle Grateful Dead bootleg on the inside. Yes, I am talking about an honest-to-goodness cassette tape that has Grateful Dead music on it from back in the day. Yeah.
And if you're lucky like me and have a cassette deck in your car, I have 5 bootlegs in my glove box right now that I rotate.
And they're giving it to you with free shipping, so put in the promo code NOSIMPLEROAD, all one word, when you check out. You can also put in the notes, any special messages you want on the inside of that hand-designed one-of-a-kind box. So go to shoptourbus.com. Something that you probably don't think about very much is lighting in your house. Like, you just come home and you flip on the light.
And take it for granted.
Yeah.
It's just a light.
Don't take your lights for granted. That's a silly thing to do when there's things that exist in this universe, in this time and place. You are lucky enough to exist at the same time as Electric Fish Lights.
Electric Fish Lights is the premier spot for designer lighting.
Wow.
It really is.
That's
Think about
true.
that.
I never thought about it like that.
It is. You get to literally design what you want your light to look like. And in addition to designing a light, you can create a speaker. And in addition to that, you can create different multicolor lighting. So this is the place to get your speaker.
And
they got you covered from everything, from cute and funky cartoon. You can get a SpongeBob. You can get your favorite sports team. You can even get them looking really classy, like if you have an Art Deco type house.
Absolutely.
It fits into any environment.
And you could think out of the box with these things too. You could use them as sconces in your home. You could put them in an easy up. You could hang them in a corner. You could actually put them outside because they are safe to use outdoors. They all come with a 12-foot cord, a 12-year energy-efficient, safe-to-leave-on bulb, a hardware kit to hang the light, and they are giving you 25% off when you put in the promo code NSR when you check out. You're getting 25% off your order.
They're going to shout you a little Delaware magic, too.
Yeah. We don't know what that is.
We don't know what it is. It could be a T-shirt. It could be a sticker. It could be both. You never know.
A little something.
It's going to be magic.
Some extra.
Electric Fish Lights. So go to electricfishlights.com. Tell them No Simple Road sent you by putting in the promo code NSR when you check out. Everybody.
What?
Do you like posters?
I love posters.
I
Posters are
absolutely
cool.
do.
Have you actually paid attention to the poster line at the shows that we go to lately? It's
insane.
It's a little bit out of hand.
Actually, I never ever used to pay attention to it. Now I do.
Well, you can go to finandwheel.com
and not have to wait in line.
Don't have to wait in line for amazing artwork to hang on your walls. No, it's not from the last show you were at, but it represents your life because you, as many of us out here, are into the Grateful Dead. We're into the outdoors. We're into, sports like surfing and cycling and all that stuff. And we're into badass art. So go to finandwheel.com. Check out the designs they got. They have a few new ones. They have a Twin Fin Hotel, which is
Twin Fin Hotel, which is a depiction of an Airstream trailer with a couple of surfboards. It looks like you could use this for your vision board. Maybe that's what you want to have happen. You want a little Airstream by the water.
True.
I like this one's just fun.
Yeah.
I just see fun.
Yep. Tube Dreams is a skeleton surfing. Rocky Beach is a nice little camping scene. And the tried and true ones like Skeleton and Rose and Surf Life. So go to finandwheel.com, and when you check out, put in the promo code NSR. You're going to get 10% off your purchase and some free slaps from the folks over at Fin and Wheel. These are amazing posters that you don't have to wait in a long-ass sweaty line for. So go to finandwheel.com.
Another proud sponsor of No Simple Road is Define Premium Cannabis.
Define Premium Cannabis.
Define. And as the name states, this is where you can go to get premium cannabis and all your other cannabis needs.
I thought you guys sold cheeseburgers.
No, we don't do that. We do order cheeseburgers.
You might want a cheeseburger after.
You're going to want to after you have some premium cannabis. But if you are up in the Portland area, we have 2 locations. One in Hillsboro, where I am at 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
And Apple will come out of the back dressed like an old English knight and use his sword Excalibur to find you the perfect cannabis product.
Oh, I like that. And then we also have another location out in Forest Grove. So if you're up in this area and you need to navigate the ever-changing world of cannabis, come visit us. We will spend our time with you to get you suited with the right product, because there are a lot of them. Also, we are heading into nicer weather. Business is picking up, and we're heading into April, which is that great holiday of 420. So come see us, get prepared. We'll take our time. You're going to leave happy, and you're going on your way to getting medicated.
And make sure you tell them you listen to the show. You're going to get 10% off.
Oh, yeah,
free
that.
T-shirt. And if you wear that T-shirt when you come back, you're going to get 15% off. So we're giving you a discount on your dope. Go to Define Premium Cannabis, Hillsboro, Forest Grove.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out. Stuff like that, man. Fucking get the police will come.
I didn't say anything.
You did too.
To stop it. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back.
No Simple Road family. Hey now.
Yeah.
Wait. Hey now, No Simple Road family. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah. Hey now, Simple Road family. Welcome.
No, it's No Simple Road, not Simple Road.
Simple Road.
Damn, dude, is this your first day?
No Simple. You know, we're not under the guise of Mel this week.
Mel doesn't have a guys. I guess I'm one of Mel's guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how you spell guys, but you know what I mean. So we're bringing you a special
midweek.
Midweek.
Well, Thursday is our normal release day, but we have a few backed up episodes.
Yeah,
so
we've been doing a lot of interviews.
We're giving you a double album this week.
Yeah.
What now? So Mel's not here. What?
Yeah, Mel's not here, so we're a little unruly. Maybe you would say. I don't know.
I think Mel is just as unruly as the rest of us.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
So things.
Shut up, Apple. You don't know what you're talking about.
Everything's normal. Oh.
This midweek episode is our brother Jonathan Hart from Brokedown Podcast. From Osiris Media, from music out there in the world. He's creating amazing acoustic music on his own.
Yes,
releasing it to Bandcamp.
Music.
He just released an EP on Bandcamp. You can look it up. It's under J.M.Hart, and it's called Proof of Life. And it's got 6 songs. And then he also released in August of 2021, he released a 9-song album called Sunken Road. And I would urge you to go over there and throw him a little love and follow him and buy the music and do all the things. And if you are not already listeners to Brokedown Podcast, boy, are you blowing it. If you're a Grateful Dead fan, he puts together the coolest how would you explain it?
He edits it so you don't know. He goes and picks songs of the Grateful Dead from different shows, and then like his favorites, whatever, or what he thinks goes together, and then edits them together so it's like one show.
So he's creating his own kind of set from shows past.
Yeah, and it's amazing, and it's actually one of the first podcasts I ever really listened to.
Really?
Back in the beginning, yeah, because it was the music. It was mostly the music, and the way he edits it together is just awesome. He picks like the best versions of all your favorite Grateful Dead songs, and then melds them into like one concert.
Yeah,
and then he also does great interviews with musicians and stuff. And if you're a listener, you may know the story. Jonathan is the reason that we are with Osiris, because he suggested that they check us out. And long story short, we've been with Osiris for quite a while now. And Jonathan is
we're going on 4
a
years
soul brother.
Yeah, man. And the music that he's making is from the soul and from the heart. And in the vein of like Bob Dylan, MC Taylor, singer-songwriter, beautiful acoustic.
Like beautiful folk Americana. I like this on Bandcamp, the one little review that it has here. This is an excellent, excellent record, a real talent for striking a balance between darkness and light.
Yes.
It flows so beautifully.
Yeah. Whoever wrote that was hit the nail on the head.
James Toth wrote that.
Okay. Right on, James. Way to go, man.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're doing a little midweek shuffle here. And Jonathan is our guest. And like I said, make sure you follow him on Bandcamp. Listen to Brokedown Podcast. Yeah. You know, we're going to get you to the interview here in a minute.
I should read this real quick, too, because this is what Jonathan wrote on Bandcamp about. This is about the album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh, that was the other thing I couldn't remember. He was also one of the hosts of the Helping Friendly podcast. So if you used to listen to that show before it became not on the air anymore and became Undermine, I think he's on Undermine now. So there it is.
Yeah, because we met up with them in Vegas for the Phish shows.
There it is.
But this is from Jonathan's words here. Aphorisms about time are nothing if not an endless well of wisdom and excuses. These here songs strive to capture something of time, having been composed across a broad stretch of years while describing many different points. None of this is intentional, and all of this is assessed after the fact. Besides, time is just an illusion, and I've wasted plenty of yours with this little note. So now we've finally together arrived at the point where I've released and you've happened upon this album. For 30 plus years, I've made up songs for my own purpose, and while these all were crafted first to suit my needs, I hope you enjoy them as well. J.M. Hart.
That's really cool, man, because being a guitar player and a musician too, like when I used to play when I was younger, like if I tried to write a song, it was always with the intention of somebody else hearing it. It was never for myself.
Like written to somebody.
Yeah, or like always thought about like, if I play this live, this will sound cool. It was never like for me to get some emotion out and that changed. Like, I mean, we talked about that recently on the show, but like that changed for me this year. And at 50, I finally figured out that, hey, music can like make you feel good and get stuff out. It's weird. But anyway, yeah. So it's cool weird, that he went the other direction. You know what I mean? Like for 30 years doing it only for himself and not caring if anybody ever heard it. And he actually said that when we were talking to him. He's like, I didn't think anybody would ever hear this stuff. And then having to turn around and release it for everybody to hear. That's fucking cool.
Well, it's like another thing we tell you. This is another one of those, so many things that happened during the quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. So many people ended up doing things and projects that they've just put off or had time and was like, you know what? I'm going to work on that thing that I've been doing for a long time.
Yep.
So it's another amazing example of that.
Yeah, man. So, I hope you guys dig this as much as we did. This conversation with Jonathan was super fun, and we're going to get you to it here in just a second. But first, we're going to do the business. Follow us on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road. And hey, this is a new announcement. And if you're one of those fast forwardy kind of people, I would urge you to stop right now because this could pertain to you. And here's the deal. No Simple Road and Saint Disruption have partnered together. Saint Disruption is Jeff Firewalker Schmidt and John Medeski. And we have partnered with them in producing a new podcast called No Simple Disruption. And we've produced the first episode, the pilot episode for it, and we are going to release that podcast as seasons. So there'll be 6 episodes released at once. And we have yet to record the next 5. So what I'm getting at here is this. We are looking for submissions of poets 25 years and under. If you are a poet, somebody that likes to write verse, like slam poetry or, spoken word stuff, or just poetry, and you are interested, you can send your poem to nosimpleroad@gmail.com, And what the deal is if your poem is chosen, Medeski and Jeff will sonically paint your poem, which, that in and of itself is
awesome.
Fucking amazing. John Medeski's going to put music to your poem. And then we will ask you, who in the world living now would you most want to talk to about your process and your creativity? And we will do our best to get that person on the podcast, and you will appear with the three of us, John and Medeski, and whoever it is that you choose to be your, what would you call that? Your muse?
Yeah, your muse. Yeah, that's the best thing I can think of. Yeah. Whoever inspires you and that you would like to be able to talk to.
Yeah. So that is a big deal. And there's a lot of big things coming for that podcast. And, you could be one of the first in the first season. It would be super rad to get some submissions from the No Simple Road family. So if you are a wizard with the pen, send your submissions to nosimpleroad@gmail.com. And a little disclaimer, all the submissions will be considered equally. Nobody's going to be left out, but obviously not all submissions can be used. So there will only be one picked for each episode. And once you send the poem in, you are giving your permission for us to use the poem on our website. So you will see the poem appear, whether it is chosen for sonic painting and a podcast episode or not. So that is No Simple Disruption, and we need your submissions.
It's cool. It's a chance to get your voice heard.
And to have John Medeski and Saint Disruption create music to your stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no little thing, man. Anyway, so you get the groove, spread the word. If you know some poets out there, you could tell them about it. And we thank you in advance for sending in your most precious thoughts. And anyway, there we go. Where was I? Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. And that is where you can sign up for as little as $1 a month to help No Simple Road keep cruising down the tracks.
Look, and $1's not a whole lot, man. That's 25 cents a week. At 25 cents an episode. It's like flicking a quarter at us each time.
Look, I'm asking you seriously to flick a quarter at us every time we put out an episode. I can't ask you any different than that. So just go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how you can flick a quarter at us. And then we'll use that quarter to put gas in the tank. And then we'll keep going. And more episodes will come out. And you'll get new stuff. And you'll see us places. And it'll be rad. And,
I seriously have been so lazy. I've dropped a quarter and not wanted to bend down and pick it up and just left it. So,
wow, dude.
So like throw those quarters at us.
Okay. Thank you. If you go to www.nosimpleroad.com, you will see our calendar of events on the 17th of what month is this? March. We will
we're going to be Sponge opening for La Special at the Star Theater in downtown Portland.
Yeah, and then on the 18th we will be at Pigeons playing ping pong
with Karina Reichman opening.
Right. So you are
at Crystal Ballroom.
Cordially invited to come boogie with the No Simple Road family. And I'm thinking we're going to do something a little different. Look at Darwin. He literally just crawled under the table.
He just ooched his way in there.
Anyway, we're going to do something a little different this time. Whatever the showtime is, an hour before showtime, we are going to have a spot where we meet up. And if you want to come hang out with the No Simple Road crew, we will be there an hour before showtime, and you can come hang out with us, and then we'll all go in together. And then you don't have to say, damn it, I didn't catch up with you guys at the show.
Yeah.
It's an easy way for us to meet everybody.
Yeah, because we're usually there for doors. Nope. Yeah.
I like doors.
We can work that out.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's...
If we're not punctual, don't hold it against us. Sometimes get an Uber and doing all the things we need to do to get there,
We'll make it happen, man.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to www.nosimpleroad.com, you can sign up for tarot reading with Mel and I. You can go on there, pay for your tarot reading, and also schedule it. If you don't see a time on there that is that'll work for you, then you can just send us an email and we'll try and work something out. And you will get a tarot reading. And we've gotten pretty good response so far.
Yeah, you guys have done several now. It's cool.
People that have gotten them have dug it. So, if you want to have a little fun and hang out with me and Mel for an hour and some insight into whatever's going on with you, then you could sign up for a tarot reading. Also, you can get merch at nosimpleroad.com. There's a lot going on over there.
There's a lot of merch.
A lot of things happening on our website. It's cool.
It's growing.
It is growing. And hey, I want to say a special shout out and thank you to the brother that called in about the sponge episode. I am not going to play your voicemail that you left us, but I just want to say again, thank you for
reaching back out
and letting us know who you are. We love you, man. And we can't wait to boogie with you again. And Apple and I do remember you from the Eugene show sitting behind us, by the way.
Yep.
Totally remember
who you are now, and hearing the voice again. Know who you are, man. We love you.
Yep. And let's see. You too can call the Tepid line.
You could call the Tepid line at 971
808-1524.
Wow, I blanked out.
That number again?
971-808-1524, 1524.
All right.
And then the thing you can do that doesn't cost a dime, as we always say, is go over to Apple Podcasts, go on there and hit that 5-star, review, and then go a little step further and leave us a written review. You can even dictate it. You don't have to type. You can do like I do and just dictate to your phone.
Listen. You're 52, brother.
Yes.
The whole phone dictating thing, you're old, man.
I know.
Just use your thumbs. It's not that hard.
No.
I'm 2 years behind you, and I'm not dictating.
Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Whatever.
Do we get any reviews?
We did get a new review on Sunday, and this one is just to the point, very short. This is from Soul Shine Help, and it is titled No Simple Road Warriors.
Yeah, I'm a road.
5 stars, and then he just says soul. Soul. I like that. Like, if you sum us up in one word, that's a word that I'll take.
Yeah,
soul.
I'll absolutely take that one too, man. And you know how they say action speaks 1,000 words?
Yeah.
Sometimes words speak 1,000 words.
Yeah, one word speaks 1,000 pictures.
Whoa. My mind just unfolded on itself.
Think about it, man.
I almost just disappeared into my own navel. Damn. All right. So that's that. Yeah. Leave us a review.
Yeah. Leave us a review.
Make sure. And what was it? Soul what?
Soul Shine Help.
All right. Soul Shine Help. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
We appreciate, or lady, or miss, or ma'am, or they.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate it. And it means the world to us when you took the time, knowing that you took the time to go on to Apple Podcast and bust out your phone and hit the search button and type in No Simple Road and then click the leave a review thing and then hit the 5-star and then type it. We get it. It's a thing. And that's why it means so much. And here's a little secret. When you do that, it does something to the algorithm on Apple Podcast and it makes us pop up as like, hey, you might like this if you listen to this. So when you do that, it's helping spread the word.
Totally
of No
helps.
Simple Road. So if you are a constant listener to this show and you have never done that, please do that for us. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. And good night. No, just kidding. We're going to get you to the interview now. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
J.M. Hart.
Or Jonathan Hart.
Yeah.
You guys get it. It's Jonathan. Here we go.
And here we are.
I've been overdue on payments, and I've been underneath your tires when you run me down. And I've been outside a room, and I've heard inside stories being passed around. When you called me by the door, you acted so absurd. As if they were about you, all those things I heard. You're acting like this whole life is a film, all the credits coming down. I've had empty pocket travels, and I've had overflowing troubles running through my days. I closed my eyes at night, and when I opened them, decided you were just a phase. When I cut you loose, you kept on coming round. Seems that you're not looking if I'm the best you found. Maybe you've been staring at the sun, 'cause you're always in a daze. And after your play acting, are you holding out for ovations that the audience ain't giving anymore? Don't you know the nothing that you're seeking is really no more worthy than what you had before? Don't leave it all behind. Don't leave it all behind. Don't leave it all behind until you found some more. I've run into resistance and I've walked a mile in another's shoes. While most of it means nothing, some of us truly have something to lose. When you hold it in your hand, sometimes you can't admit that if it slipped away, oh, you would mourn for it. Sometimes the things, oh, that we need the most are the ones that we would never choose. And after your play acting, are you holding out for ovations that the audience ain't giving anymore? Don't you know the nothing that you're seeking is really no more worthy than what you had before? Don't leave it all behind. Don't leave it all behind. Don't leave it all behind until you found some more.
Yeah, I was
applause
applauding
there.
Jonathan
Right
for
on. Yeah.
starting his recording.
We
Right,
started that
Jonathan.
out. Heck yeah. We got John.
I'm gonna embiggen you guys. Just realized I don't need to keep the window all narrow so I can read notes because I don't have any notes.
No,
Perfect.
Isn't it nice when
It's weird.
when you're not the one doing the interview, like all the pressure's off.
Is it? It's different.
Is it?
I like that.
I mean, I do all the same things I do before I'm like doing an interview, except for review a bunch of notes and like listen to like 30 albums in the past 5 days or any of that stuff.
Right.
But otherwise it was like, run around, get my tea, use the restroom, get some water, get make sure I got a handkerchief and, check the mic,
Yes.
all the things.
That's funny. We do all the same things.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there, so there is still that kind of pressure to
Oh shit!
be on point.
I forgot a light.
I'll turn it on.
It's okay.
You sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're fine. Can you
There you
see
go. I
us?
got you.
Are we lit up? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks,
Right on.
Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, Jonathan,
Aw.
welcome back.
Yeah.
To the show, man.
Welcome back to NSR.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Before I
been a while.
bulldoze through and just start talking to you, let's have you introduce yourself to everybody and tell them your CV.
Should have had notes. Let's see. What can I say? I'm a songwriter. I'm a music fan. I am a podcaster. All of these things are habitual. I'm a record collector, also habitual.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a family, beautiful children and a wife, and I live in Virginia. And absolutely none of the things I've listed above make me any money. And, but I love them all.
Wow.
Oh my God. Get down to the reality.
Dude, you
Yeah.
just gave our list of stuff.
Yeah, are you reading our notes? Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
Man,
Right.
let's just start there.
Yeah,
Let's start
fucking
right there.
start right
Sure.
there.
So why do we do stuff that takes up all of our time and stresses us out sometimes and causes us to have to stretch ourselves that we aren't getting paid for? Why do we do that?
I have no idea. I mean, some elements of compulsion, some elements of, well, I mean, it's just pleasure, right? I mean, I really enjoy. For an introvert, I get an awful lot of pleasure out of meeting new people and learning about them and learning about how and why they do things. So that's part of why I do podcasting. It's not just because I like to talk about music, but that's also a blast. I'm, as I mentioned, obsessive record collector, and I not just because I need to have the thing, but I want to listen to the thing. And if I like it, I want to be able to listen to it at any time. And it's much more pleasurable to like hold a thing and like,
Yes.
Agreed.
put it on the turntable than to just kind of click, click, click.
Right.
Oh, there it is. And then, the writing is something I've probably done longer than any of these other things, definitely. And that is just, I can't not.
Right. I get you.
And during the occasional dry spells when there's really not a lot coming out, it's aggravating, but we get over it.
I just want to say I love the lyrics to Turn to Space. That's the one I started with this morning. And you mentioned lyrics in there as well. And so you said like you've been doing it for how long? Like as a kid? Is that how long you can far back?
I mean, I've been writing lyrics since I was I don't know, or early high school.
Okay.
Maybe middle school, but I haven't been much of a musician for pretty much any of that time.
Okay.
But
is a lyric writer not a musician?
What's that?
Is a lyricist not a musician?
I don't think so. I think they're different.
Think about that, right? For a second, because
a lyricist can be adjunct to a musician.
Okay.
A lyricist can also be a musician.
Okay.
But, when I started writing songs, I couldn't play them on anything. I could just sing them, but I couldn't really sing either. I had to learn to sing. But I started, giving them to my friend James, and he wrote music. And because he was doing that with some other friends. And
Yeah.
Is all the music on Sunken Road, is that all original to you?
Yes. I mean, with exception, I don't really, there's a couple guests, some friends play on it, and I never told anybody what to play, but I wrote the songs, melody, the, chord progressions and all of that nonsense. And before I sent them over to people to say, hey, can you put some bass on this? Or can you play drums on this?
Okay.
Like
So
Turn to Space, you mentioned my friend Scott. He's the drummer of the John T. He's also a songwriter and singer with the John T. I sent him that song with, I think it was just guitar and maybe a lead guitar and vocal on it. And I said, can you put some drums? And he's like, yeah, but you need bass. And he played bass and drums and then did some keyboards and of course, and sang.
Wow.
And so when I got this back, it was completely transformed, but it was still the song that I'd sent him. It was just so much more, and it was wonderful. And
you have learned to
expected
write.
that.
You said you wrote melodies and stuff and sent those off to. So you have taught yourself. You've learned to write music over time.
Yeah, I mean, I have been playing guitar for what year is this? 30 years.
Oh,
Okay.
dang. Okay.
But not well for most of those. But you get around to it.
True. I've been playing since, well, I guess I first picked up the guitar when I was 12. So since then, I can't do math right now. And I don't know if you've had this experience with it, but like I have this love-hate relationship with playing where I'll go through spats of like months and months where I pick up the guitar every day and I play for hours, and then a year where I don't even pick it up. Have you gone through those like phases of?
sort of. And that's where, really didn't go anywhere as a player, but it was because of everything else in my life too.
Mhm.
I mentioned I have kids and,
Yeah.
they're 25, 18, and 13. So
Wow.
I spent a lot of years with just a lot of other stuff to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I get it.
And like I didn't play electric guitar for probably 16 years after Piper, my middle child, was born. The electric guitar got put away until a year and a half ago.
Was it quarantine that birthed this thing? Was it boredom? Was it what made you finally decide, you know what, screw it, I'm going to put all this together and put out an album?
It helped to have a lot more time near my guitars.
Right.
Yeah. But good chunk of it was already written, and it just gave me the time to really, put it down.
Do you feel like the vibe of the world at the time colored what came out?
A little bit. I mean, a couple of the songs on there for sure
Mm-hmm.
were written, in the kind of the thick of it in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But not all of it, which of course explains why there's maybe some brighter moments, more
Right.
upbeat moments
Right.
in the album.
My favorite on there is BS Blues. And it's when the whistle comes in. Before we called you up, we were all
whistling.
We were all walking around the house getting a And I got it. That's you whistling.
Yes. That's
Okay, I love it.
Superb.
I love BS
Thank you.
Blues. That one's great. And then the
That's available
Towards
as a
the end.
7-inch. He said.
Oh, cool.
okay, and then the
pluggingly.
don't what is it? Don't leave anything behind, or don't leave
Don't leave it all behind.
Don't
yes.
leave it all behind. I really like that one too, and the lyrics on that and stuff. You have a knack throughout this with the lyrics of it. It's like uplifting. It's riding a roller coaster kind of. It's kind of uplifting, and then it's
Yeah.
very well done, and
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful, kind of melancholy, but not. It's like hope without hope, and if that makes sense, it kind of goes through the one. It's like I love it, man.
That's a trick I learned from others. Is you gotta. Sometimes you got to pair the bummer lyric with the upbeat melody, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hunter does that. So
You mentioned the Jaunty. You actually turned me on to them. They're amazing. That band,
I think so.
is amazing, dude. And
yeah,
that's awesome that you know those guys and got them to help you out with this thing. And yeah, I've always wondered, like, with the bands that we all listen to, when whoever it is that's writing the music creates the framework for it, right? And then they give it to someone else to have them color it. When you do that, do you have something in mind that you're hoping to get back? Because you said that you didn't tell them what to play, right? So like you just give it to them and
Right.
just hope for something, or do you have something in mind?
I mean, like it's different. It's probably different every time.
Mhm.
So with the song that Scott played on for me for my record, I sent him a recording. I was like, here's the song, here's what it sounds like, and I'm kind of looking for something. I have no idea at this point what I told him then. But it obviously it's more up tempo, needs a drum, and he went to it. But like songs that I've written with the Jaunty, well, actually, I don't even think it should be said that. The songs I've written for the Jaunty, I literally just sent lyrics to Scott and said, this to me sounds like something you guys might want to mess with. And he wrote something.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't give him anything other than words. And he,
Turned it into
kicked
something.
him around a little bit and found what worked. And I've only done it a couple times, but it's worked.
It amazes me, dude. Like for real, that anybody can find the time to do what you did
With three kids.
Well, not just that, 3 kids, a podcast, a job, a marriage, and then this. Like, that's huge, man. That alone
Yeah.
I've spent
should
a lot
have-
of time in
yeah.
this room in recent years. It was like a lot of time.
Because I know
So,
how much
yeah, I
time
don't
I
know.
spend not spending time with everybody because of just simply No Simple Road. So add
Right.
something else to that. I don't know. That would be tough, man.
There's something I always tell people when I had a third kid, which is a dozen years ago, was after 2, you can't have any less time. So you just,
Okay.
I don't have
Right?
an answer for it. You just gotta go.
Figure it
You
out.
press on. I don't like sleeping at night,
It's
but I don't stay up all night.
Okay.
I write in the morning. It's like I like to. I've already, but it's 2:00 here in Virginia, and I've already been in this room for. I probably spent about 3 hours in here already today. Just playing. I'm not even recording anything. I'm kind of working on some stuff, and then wandering out and doing other things and interacting with the family. Took my son to get a shot. All this stuff, and then come back in here and just spend a little more time and go make a cup of tea. Come
That's-
back in here.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to management. Is that something that was like a conscious framework for you? Like, you know how people get up in the morning and they like sit down and do their meditation and write in their pages or whatever. Is that kind of thing for you, like a routine? Yeah.
I mean, sorta.
Okay.
I would be a liar if I said I was, strict
Regiment.
regimentarian.
Yeah.
Are you
That's
like that
not
about?
really the case.
Are you like that about anything in your life? Like strict, regimented, kind of like aside from work.
When I get ready for bed, I do everything in exact same order.
Okay.
What is it? Tell us.
That's
Tell
about
us. I gotta know now.
You pee, then you shower, you brush your teeth, you go to bed. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
whatever. But like, look, I'm ADHD, and if I don't put things in certain places, I will lose them. If I don't remind myself to go, second cup of coffee, go upstairs. So, that's what I do.
Okay.
Go upstairs, sit down here, and get to work,
I get it, man.
Or-
I'm
or-
the
Yeah.
same way.
or just goof off. Some days there's no work; it's just goofing off.
Right.
But that's okay too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This beanie, if I don't put it in the exact same spot every night, it's lost for good,
Right.
And he-
forever.
And he freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he loses things, he gets accusatory.
Yeah.
Where's
oh my God.
beanie? Like me or Mel or
We-
somebody took
Nuh-uh.
it.
It was malicious.
I never did that.
You passed it on to your son as well.
I did. I
Mhm.
did. Speaking of kids, so how's the family feel about like the musical stuff and the album? Have they given you an opinion?
I mean, I think they're cool with it. There's a high
Right.
degree of indifference, as you would expect from people who like don't see you as anything special other than dad or husband or whatever. But they're really nice about it, and
They're nice
I got
about-
my middle child Piper and my wife to sing on a Christmas single that I put out a couple weeks ago. That was fun. But,
Yeah.
my son, who has a great singing voice, won't come near a microphone. And my eldest, Althea, does not live with us. So she was happy to receive a CD. I have zero idea if she listened to it at all.
No way. Where'd the name Althea come from?
I just pulled it out of the air. She's a tennis player.
Okay. That's what I thought.
That's where I know it from.
Yeah.
And also Piper, like that's a great name.
Yeah.
Is
too.
your wife
Yeah.
a deadhead or into the scene at all?
She is Deadhead adjacent.
Okay.
She likes the music. She doesn't inform or impact her life the way it does
Okay.
for, say, some of us, except in the ways that it impacts mine and thereby peripherally.
The tremor. Yeah.
Jonathan, I want to ask you something, man. This is something I've been thinking about personally. How old are you?
I am 47.
Okay, so we're close in age. My relationship with the music over the past 30 plus years, right, has changed several times. Like you said, I had a family. I wasn't really involved that much while I was raising my family. But before that, I was on tour, and then after my kids kind of grew up, then we were back at it. And my feelings about it have grown and changed over the years. And now that I reached like the 50-mile marker, I feel really different about all of it than I ever have before in my life. Have you gone through that like ebb and flow kind of thing with your relationship with the Dead and Phish and Jam and all that over the however many years you've been into it?
I think I have. I mean, obviously, certainly I spent a lot of time where it was probably 80% of what I cared about musically. Phish and Dead probably push and pull on equal shares of that 80. And then there would be other things that would kind of float through my consciousness, and I would either obsess over or I'd just inhale and kind of move on. And they've receded to some degree, not through any lack of love or concern or what have you. It's just that I've absorbed enough of them that I have kind of more bandwidth in my heart to listen to a lot of other things. And I think I expressed that through Brokedown Pod by bringing in people who are just they don't make Grateful Dead related music, except that it's possible to see a line. And that's, so I kind of try to draw the line between them if it exists. Even if it's just that they improvise, even if the music is unrelated and they hate the Grateful Dead.
Right.
Talking to you, Jen Powers. Sorry, you guys. Previous guest. But they, yeah. So I think that at this point, that old story about that Bobby says, the worst part about Grateful Dead fans is they don't listen to anything else. I've been that guy, and I'm that's so far behind me at this point. But I still, I get that kick. I put on a Grateful Dead show and my brain floods me with good chemicals, it's,
right.
That's never going away. I can't imagine it ever would. And, but yeah, it has kind of changed. Like, I was about to say I haven't listened to Grateful Dead today, but I did, because I got in the car and there was a 22869 or, it was on in the CD player in the car, and New Potato Caboose was blaring. My son was like, yeah. And yeah. And
it's a weird
so it's
thing,
out there.
Man. It's very strange. Like, for me, man, it was like almost like a mystical relationship with the Dead specific for a long time. And for me, it was like mining that experience over and over again for tidbits of those chemicals that you're talking about, like, and also trying to figure out what the hell happened too. That was like, it's a big part of my psyche. However my initial experience with it went down, it gave me this like hunger to know about the experience and how it affected other people and myself, because it was so seminal to me. And I think actually like No Simple Road really is responsible in a lot of ways for breaking me of what you were just talking about, being that guy that only listens to the Dead. And Phish too is really very responsible for that as well. Like, broke me of that, and I fanboyed out.
I've been known to listen to Phish.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. Sent Tom a email about, thanks for breaking me of thinking that I was only a Deadhead and whatever. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that are in that space that you and I were in. There's a lot of folks that are like diehard Deadheads, and that's cool, man. I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah.
But what do you think it was that caused you personally to like start branching out and opening up and listening to other stuff?
There was never, like I said, there was always some degree, some percentage of my brain that was like looking at listening to something else. You know, when I worked in the record store, I was bringing home jazz records endlessly and, you know, running through those channels. And there was a moment like when Phish took their first hiatus where I was already kind of interested in Steve Kimmock, for example. And I started running through, you know, Zero, which I had already had a lot of Zero, and just following him around, literally going to shows all over and then branching from there, just as you do with jazz records and collecting. You know, you listen to this Miles record and you see who's playing, you know, Coltrane's on the sax, and you listen to a Coltrane record and it's like, oh, McCoy Tyner, and you listen to a McCoy Tyner record. And Kimmock had a moment where in the early part of this century, he was shifting his band a little bit, kind of almost every run or every couple of runs, Steve Kimmock band would shift and I'd follow somebody else. And that led me to branching into other jam bands. And then somewhere along the way, I realized I had missed just a ton of music in the 90s. And, you know, somewhere in the early part of 2000s, I put on My Bloody Valentine that everybody loved. And I know I heard in like 1994 and I didn't care about. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I didn't care about it. And it flipped a switch. And I was like, all right, now we're digging into 90s indie rock. And we're listening to, and, you know, there was Sonic Youth stuff that I did not like in the early 90s. That I suddenly realized, well, this makes sense to me now. And again, more doors started flying open. And I bought a random record down the record store here in Fredericksburg from Pelt. And I didn't know anything about Pelt. And they were not, this early 2000s, not a lot on the internet about them, but this guy, Jack Rose, was in, again, I listened to Jack Rose and just listened to John Fahey. And I just, doors flying open all over the place, and that continues to keep me busy. Like that, you know what, man? That's endless rivers of music at this point.
For real.
Well, the early 90s was a trip for music. I know for me, because Aaron turned me on and drugged me to a Dead show in 90, and then at the same time I was really getting into that. Like the whole grunge thing dropped. And then like you mentioned Sonic Youth, that's one of my favorite bands ever, always was. But the 90s was a weird thing. And like going back and listen, like you said, then when Jerry passed in 95, all of a sudden there was like the door kind of closed and then started going back to other things. It was in the 90s, early 90s up to 95 when Jerry passed was like a weird time. And then like a kind of a self-discovery again after that, looking at a lot of things and listening back.
Right. And I had a little bit at that moment, but at the same time, I was right then very actively getting into Phish. And 94, I started seeing Phish. There was the Best Week Ever where I saw my first Phish show and then 3 Dead shows, all while sleeping in my own bed, you know, every night.
Wow.
And because they were right around DC, and it was the best. I think I mentioned that. And then I went and saw a few more Phish shows that fall. And in the summer, I was like, well, we're going to see Dead shows and we're going to see Phish shows. And then in the fall, we only had Phish shows. I had tickets to Dead shows. It didn't happen. And then in 96, I had a kid and I didn't see any shows. So,
and that's when shows went bye-bye. Yeah. Dude. Okay. I want to ask you to do the impossible. All right. You ready?
Okay.
So as you know, I mean, you know us.
We met.
Yeah. I didn't, my first Phish show was in 93 in Olympia, Washington. And it didn't click for me. I was like, cool, whatever. But in 2015, Apple and I went to the Forum, and after Fare Thee Well, because I was like, okay, there's something here. And just that show left me speechless. And like you said, I was like, dude, we missed 30 years of the greatest music ever. And since then have been on, trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah, still catching up.
Yeah. But You know, the Phish and the Grateful Dead world are so overlapped in a lot of places that the line is blurred, but they are two completely different things. And I know for me what they represent, right? Like what the difference is now. But I'm curious what your take on that is, man. Like what's the real difference between the two, and why do you think that there is such a division between like the hardcore fans on either side? Told you I was going to ask you to do
Just
this possible.
Give me easy questions. Why don't you?
Yeah.
And we want the true right answer.
But actually, I mean, I can tell you that largely it's a generational difference. And I'm not talking about the fans. I mean, the musicians are just generations apart.
Mm-hmm.
The things that influenced Jerry and the Grateful Dead may have influenced members of Phish, and they do share some of the same influences in bluegrass, for example, although inarguably, I would say Jerry was a harder bluegrass head than Trey and company ever were. They were more of J.D. Souther, New South fans, which is cool. That's the 70s hits bluegrass. But, the Dead influences of, Music Concrete and stuff that Phil had, and, the early rock and roll, they inform Phish, but Phish also has Frank Zappa,
Mm-hmm.
which does not inform Grateful Dead. Phish also has Yes. Phish also has
Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Pat Metheny, and all of these, Peter Gabriel, and all of these things, Genesis too, that really don't inform what Grateful Dead ever did. Whereas not only do they share the influences that like Phish shares Grateful Dead's influences, but Phish also has Grateful Dead as an influence.
Oh shit. Okay.
And so, they're stacking shit way on top of what the Dead did. And it's just, there's no possible way that they could or should, I'll say should, sound the same, except at moments. And even then, it's very rare. In some deep spaces, deep weird jams, sometimes Phish has sounded a little like Grateful Dead. It's true. But Grateful Dead almost never sounded like Phish, except maybe in some of the really speedy other ones, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're just very different. However, they connect with similar parts of our brains. They like to explore with their music. They aren't boring enough to play the same show twice, or even play a song the same way twice.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Phish was at its most precise, and right around when you first saw them, for example, in 93, they weren't playing shows or songs quite the same way twice. Phish has also interjected a hell of a lot more humor than Grateful Dead ever did. They may be pranksters, but the yellow dog joke is not the same kind of humor that Phish is bringing.
Mm-mm.
So how's that for an answer?
Man. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I would add to that, at least for me, is that lyrically, they
come from a very different place as well.
Yeah, lyrically speaking, like the Grateful Dead to me is sweet and dark. There's very little levity in Grateful Dead music.
So Hunter, Hunter in the kind of the lyric set that is not just limited to Hunter's, but that comes from like the Harry Smith folk anthology and romantic era poetry. And right. Tom Marshall does not come from that. That's it. I'm not quite sure exactly where Tom Marshall comes. He is
singular.
He is kind of singular, and he just stands in a very different zone. And he can really cut to a feeling, but he likes to obscure it behind images, sometimes that are very particular and personal to his experience, and sometimes that are just, I don't know, they got wacky hypercolor shirts on or something. I don't quite, know,
Yeah.
I don't know how he dresses them up, but he does, and it's fantastic.
I think that one of the most like wonder-filled, wonderful experiences I've had in my life, period, is at the Gorge in 2018, listening to Prince Caspian and like getting it for the first time.
There you go.
And like, dude, almost brings me to tears. Like now, it was the same thing that the Dead did to me, but so different. And like,
what is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
I almost want to say like more visceral, less cerebral. I don't know. It's tough to put a final point.
There's a million different roads to that point in your brain,
right?
/ heart. Phish takes its own, but yeah, I mean, Prince Caspian is a great example of like even Phish fans hate that song, but it's about.
I also love Farmhouse.
I love Farmhouse too. It's about this escape, this freedom, which is exactly why we're all there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I can't convince a Caspian hater.
Caspian hater.
I can't convince them to come around. But
why? What's the deal with that? I don't understand if it's such a great song. But it's not like admitting that it's not a good song, or that it's like tired, or that it's bad, like lyrically. Like I'm trying to understand what's to hate about it, because
I don't know.
I had a girlfriend.
I think it kicked their sister or something.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah,
dude, they're audibly coloring your experience. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How can you hate that? Thank you for singing exactly what I'm feeling in this moment. Like on 8,000 different levels at the same time. Like,
but also I can remember that when we were at the Gorge and that, because that was still kind of new to us. But I remember you even see the ones that don't like it. They're begrudgingly singing it and they're into it. They're like, oh, Prince Caspian, kind of looking around, but they're still going, they're not getting up and walking out, other than maybe like, this is where you take a bathroom break or get a beer.
Yeah.
Back at the camp later, they're going to be like, God damn Caspian.
That
concert could have gone on for 3 more hours.
Yes, in their reviews, everybody's going to start reviewing. Oh, why are they? Yeah.
That's a whole other ball of wax that we won't.
That's what we love. We talk about all the tides. That's another. There's no real bands like the two of them, Phish and Grateful Dead, most critical fans in the world, and they love them so much
that
they're so critical of them. Also, yes, and take pleasure in it and start arguments with each other. And then it all comes back around to the same love. Like, we love these guys.
What happens to not saying anything nice? Don't say anything at all.
That rule does not apply on the internet.
That's no fun, Mel. Oh,
I actually try to live by that one on the internet. There was a time when I would be perfectly happy to like knock bands that I don't enjoy or whatever. But I've some time ago decided that was just useless expenditure of energy.
Yes.
And
Also,
other people like it. Like there's 2 possibilities if I don't talk about a record or a band that you're interested in, and either I haven't spent any time with it or I don't like it. And just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
right?
Just
We all
means
have different
that-
tastes.
I feel
But,
like that. Why are you going to review something you don't like? Then you're just being a harsh critic. It's like, I don't like this. I'm going to put that away and go to something I like.
Also, how about this? There's a certain thing like when you become like you're a podcaster, we're podcasters, and then so that gives people they'll listen maybe a little bit more to what we say. And it's fucking hurtful. Somebody's pouring their life and soul and their lyrics and doing this amazing thing. And then we're like, oh, it sucks. It's not like their, 95 stuff or whatever. And it's like nobody I always think about your kid. If somebody was saying that shit to my kid, I would be so freaking hurtful. Like that. Why are you talking about my kid like that? They spent their last 3 years putting this album out with all their friends. And now you're just with one shot breaking everything that they did. And that's not fair.
Well, I will make fun of 3.0 Phish sometimes. That's fair game.
But I think that's like kind of like in the space where it's okay now.
Yeah.
That's
Socially
okay.
Acceptable. But yeah, my wife used to, because I've written, record reviews and stuff for like my old blog and things. And my wife, you always, rave about these records. You never write about something you don't like. And I was like, no, I don't. It's not worth my time.
Right on.
Got time.
Good.
You know what?
Nobody's
though, Jonathan?
paying me to write bad reviews, so why would I ever?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, right? Obviously, we all know that the community that we're all a part of is very critical. And how did you feel putting yourself out there musically, man? Was it scary?
I mean, I expected to be largely ignored, and that's paid off.
Oh my gosh, brother.
I just think if I would be petrified.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a little scary. Sure.
Okay.
But for real, like that was only sort of a joke. I mean, I really expected it to not matter to a lot of people. I didn't, there's no record label, there's no promotion. It's just I tweet about it, and some people picked up on it and they really like it, and that's great. And other people have not paid it any mind, or they listened to it and they didn't like it, but they didn't take the time to tell me, which is cool. And
do you want to know?
I don't think I do. No, if you
Yeah,
don't like
I
it, that's
agree.
fine.
Yeah.
Like, I know without reservation that what I do is not for everybody. I'm not trying to make music that will sell to everybody. Otherwise, I'd have some dope beats.
Yeah,
Whatever makes money these days. And I do know how to cut beats. I just don't care to. It's just not a thing that I do. But it's, I
It is.
would
what
be
it
You
great,
did it
though.
'cause you needed
I'd be
to get it out.
perfectly thrilled to have more people listen to it and enjoy it. It's not like I'm struggling to be obscure. It's just that it's really easy to do that.
Okay, so in the vein of critical thinking and our community, last time we saw you in person was in Vegas on Halloween.
Last and first time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of opinions about. Yeah, no, there's a lot of opinion as to what happened Halloween night, musically speaking, and I know where I land. What's your take on Sci-Fi Soldier, man? I'm really curious.
Well, it's funny. I haven't gone back and listened to it much since right after.
So you said it right
I just
there.
admitted this on HF Pod a couple weeks ago, so it's not a big secret. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it that night. I had a blast.
Yeah.
And not just because I was rocking with you guys during some of that show, but
Honestly,
yeah.
Jonathan,
But,
that was one of my favorite parts when you were there and when RJ was there. It was you brought the love, and honestly, they could have been playing Donna Summer and I wouldn't have cared.
Well, that would have been dope too.
It would have been
Oh,
dope.
yeah, dope
What
as
I
hell,
mean
so,
is the company
yeah.
really does make the memory for the music for
helps.
me. Yeah.
Thank you. That was fun. I really enjoyed spending time with you guys. But yeah, the show was good, man. I don't know. I think it's a lot, but I think it's a lot to digest and understand if you insist upon understanding, which sometimes is a mistake with Phish. Like not trying to understand or thinking you understand Phish, but trying to force that understanding. I also think that unlike a Tom Marshall project where he is often writing with some sort of emotional intent or direction, the more collaborative Phish, the band writing projects like this, like the song Fuego, for example, for an older example, they tend to be a lot more esoteric. There's a word. But also this Sci-Fi Soldier is building on a mythos that they created with Cosmo Vox. Like if you got to read the comic book, first of all, that's sort of like a key, but it doesn't open the whole door. It just kind of cracks it for you. So Cosmo Vox is this one thing that they made up. Sci-Fi Soldier sits on top of that. And then if you add in sort of some of the stuff that Trey said in the narration the night before, you realize that this also kind of exists in a futuristic post-Lizards Gamehenge universe. And therefore, we're really just dealing with more wacky Phish mythology. And how can you not love that if you love Phish? How can you not love that? Like, don't take it too seriously. Find the bits that matter, throw away the rest, and just have a lot of fun because the music was damned fun.
So would this be like Sci-Fi Soldier? Is this like if Phish were like I feel like it's like this. Phish is creating an eternal album with their entire career, not one Billy Bree. Well, no, it's all of it, and this is just a part of that eternal album.
Yeah.
So what's you trying to?
Just the next piece, next link in the chain, if you will.
I read a lot of fantasy books. Like
you watch
series?
Star Trek because they do.
Yeah,
and that's where like the they use the, what do they call them? Their water bears is one of the things but they gave them a different name in the comic. I can't remember what they're the little
the little tube face things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They apparently grabbed that from Star Trek Discovery, which is which is great. And they use in Star Trek Discovery, they use those things they traveled through space using mushrooms, y'all. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
And that's an influence in this project too. So I love this band. They're just my kind of nerds. I think that also helps a lot.
But like in the fantasy universe, like you'll have series, like, book 1, book 2, book 27. And this to me is like in the Gamehenge mythology land, this is the next installment into the future of that. Like you said, it's building upon it. And we talked to Karina Reichman.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I haven't heard it yet.
Not long after. And her take on it was the best I had heard. She was like, you know what? These guys are still innovating. They're still putting together an entire suite of new music without anybody knowing about it, and pyrotechnics and coming down from the ceiling. And if you can hate on that, you better be doing something magnificent.
Right.
Simply put, like it is what it is. And so we're in a weird space right now though, man. Like as far as the world is concerned, Jonathan, like, it seemed like things were opening back up, and then we just, what's happening. Everything's kind of closed down for a little while again, it looks like. What is what's your opinion on how the spring and summer are going to shake out? I'm not just talking about Phish. I'm talking about like the music scene. Do you think we'll have shows and festivals and things will be okay, or what?
Well, since my time at the CDC, I really don't know. Dead and Company canceled and probably played it a little late, more than probably. Canceled a little late. That's hurts. I will say though, to everybody who ended up in Mexico, I understand the disappointment, but I mean, at least you did get to go to Mexico, and got a refund, so that's cool.
That's cool.
Sucks that they didn't get to play. And I think that Phish is probably watching that very closely, trying to decide what to do with their shows in February. I got a show coming up the 2nd of February here in DC, and I don't know if I'm going.
So you're playing out?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to a show. I got tickets for a show. No, I don't. I haven't played in front of an audience outside of a few friends, and I really have not done that since I was a teenager. So
you're not into doing it?
I wouldn't say that. I haven't. And so I think I'm not, and given the way things are right now, I'm not rushing out to to play any open mics. I will tell you though, I'm working up a set of songs that I may just record here and put out as a almost live EP.
That's cool. Yeah, man.
So you heard it here.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's a weird fucking world we're in, man. It's
Yep.
That New Year's getting canceled was a blow to the solar plexus.
I know you guys were planning to go. It was the right call. I'm sorry to say that it is the right call. It sucks though, but
it did suck. And you just can't do that right now, and it just whatever. But I'm just hopeful. Like you said, our time with the CDC is paying off, so we know exactly what's happening. But, I'm hopeful, man. When this all first happened, I was really concerned about the ability of live music to continue into the future with everything that was going on. And then 2021, spring and summer rolled around, and I saw that our friends and family can do this with class and tact, and it made me really happy. And even though things are shitty right now, I know that we can pull through and do it right and take care of each other and move into the future with everything that we need. Because I need live music like food. 2020 was a son of a bitch. It was tough, man. Really. And I don't think I ever realized it on that level, but it gives me kind of hope now. Like, I know that we can do this and that we'll make it through. So, yeah, man,
I think a lot of groups, there were a lot of groups who were touring, right? Say middle of last year and whatnot, and getting by and not getting sick, and that was cool. But there was just such a reduction in what could be done and who could go out and do it, that, it was nowhere near back. And it was just kind of like it was kind of just a teaser, right? Like, you could book yourself and go see a bunch of bands, you could really push it, but so many groups, so many artists, particularly artists who aren't in big groups or aren't selling a lot of records, or even if they are, they just, they didn't go at all. The market was really greatly reduced. Not the market, but, the number of groups that were out there. And it was just like it was a tease. And I think we're really a long way from really coming back, because while so many groups that we love did things the best possible way, so many didn't. And that didn't help. And I'm not here to name names and point, but y'all can probably pretty quickly figure out, which artists weren't requiring masks and vaccinations, playing, outdoors, or, appropriate venues to the scale of the audience, underselling or whatever you need to do. And I'm looking right at you, Eric Clapton. Yeah, I named names. There you go.
I thought you weren't going to name names.
Yeah, man, what happened?
Well, he made a spectacle of himself.
and that doesn't help. I think that's my point, is that doesn't help. There are a lot of people who like have made almost no money over the past couple of years, and great, brilliant, talented artists who just haven't been able to get gigs or aren't willing to book gigs because maybe they have small children at home who can't get vaccinated. So if dad comes home with a mild case, they could give it to their little kid. That's no good.
Right.
And they don't want to do it. And that's a risk they shouldn't have to take to make a living. So it's tough. I think we're really a long way from that being remedied.
Think about this, like who would have thunk, as whatever, you're an artist and you're a musician and just going out to work, you're putting yourself in danger and your family in danger.
We are in bizarre world.
And that right there, like, I mean, I am not a musician, but the way that I related to with my career is like, I'm in the spa industry. Who the hell wants to be touched all up in your face during a time like this when it's scary? Maybe, like Aaron said, he needs live music. Maybe people do need touch and they need to feel like, have that kind of human contact, but it's literally dangerous. How the hell do you get past that? Even if, like, say, flash forward, COVID's under control, vaccinations have helped everything, however it panned out. But now the mental aspect of it.
Yeah, traumatic.
The traumatic, like a musician going out there and like feeling responsible if someone gets sick, that is going to not only affect your performance, but like it fucks your head up.
Add to it the fact that some of these artists and people we're talking about, they probably don't have proper health insurance, and so there's no health care, no mental health care, and no work. And okay, maybe work becomes an option, but there's nothing to fall back on. There lies my platform for the presidency.
I appreciate that, and like we said, with your background with the CDC, I think you have a great, strong platform to run.
You have an in.
Yeah. We're making up signs right now, but I was going to say the other thing we heard.
Here it is, Jonathan.
Towards the future.
The other thing we heard with all the artists, like you said, it was really great to go back and to be able to see Phish quite a few times, Green Sky Bluegrass quite a few times. But the thing that disappeared for them, great excitement of it, is there is no after show parties. There was no meet and greets. There was no longer like that's gone right now.
You're in a bubble.
They got to get off stage, mask up, get on the bus, take off.
Even the big outdoor festivals went away. Like, I know you guys have worked some festivals for the podcast and stuff, and I've done Delfest a couple times. And one of the things that everybody I've talked to playing Delfest, for example, loves that it's like camp. They're there, all their friends, all these bands, all these artists in their scene in one place, and maybe they're only there for one day, but there's 10 bands or all these people that they know and love, and they're all hanging out, and can't do any of that.
Yeah. And the combing, like the festival. The festivals are fun because you get dirty. You may not shower for a few days. You're hugging everybody. You're getting to see people join each other on stage and their camps mixing and stuff. Yeah, that ain't
happening. You can't do that. But the thing you mentioned, I went and saw Dinosaur Jr. and Riley Walker open for Dinosaur Jr. and at 930 Club. And it was great. Like the venue, I will credit to the venue, but also the maturity of the audience. Masks everywhere. Everybody was masked. They were required to be masked. Check the vaccines, all of that stuff. Everybody's very good about keeping them on. But, I couldn't go talk to my friend Ryan, who was playing drums for Riley, because there's no backstage happening.
Yeah,
nobody's
hanging out.
No meet and greet, none of that, just like you said. And that stinks.
Well, I'm glad you brought that. I'm a Dinosaur Jr. fan. They're coming here in February.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to Wonder Ballroom. Was it great? I mean, I've always loved Jay Mascis.
Freaking awesome, man. They're so good. Wear your earplugs, but go.
Oh yeah, that distortion and which I love.
It is loud. It is one of the loudest shows. I would say the loudest show I had ever seen prior to that was in that same room, and it was a Government Mule show in '96, and it was crazy loud. Alan Woody just nailed you to the wall with his bass. It was so good. But yeah, that has become the loudest show I've ever seen, and it was glad I had my good earplugs. But it was amazing.
We brought up Apple, you talking about the whole backstage scene going away and all that. I have to give it up to the bands that did go out and tour last year, at least on the tip that, like, at this point, it really is a sacrifice. You are 100% making yourself uncomfortable in order to bring music to people, putting yourself at risk for whatever, and also your entire way that you did the thing is torn apart. So if you're still doing it at this point, it's two things. You're broke and you need the money, or you really fucking love making music, or both.
It's gonna have to be both, I think, because if you're broke and you need money, there are easier ways to get it.
Right.
But even if you don't have a lot of skills and all your skills are on the guitar or whatever, there are probably easier ways to get it than touring during COVID. But you must love it. You look at like Billy Strings, and he's young and hungry and played so many damn shows. It's and he had to cancel some. I think he canceled his New Year's stuff, and
he did.
But they're working really hard to keep themselves safe. I don't know. I haven't heard anything like what we heard after Phish Halloween of people coming home and being sick.
No, I haven't heard anything
from
either.
Billy Strings, but it's got to have happened to some degree. But
yeah, like I said, we're
good on them.
Weird, bizarro world future, man. The world is upside down for real. So Jonathan, before we take off, I want you to do the people that are listening a favor and just tell them, man, where they can hear more from you. There's a lot of different outlets. You're doing a lot of stuff, man.
Let's see. If you want to hear more of me talking,
I like how you put that, Jonathan.
If you like the sound of this voice in this manner, let's see. I can be found. The Brokedown Pod can be found anywhere you get podcasts, except for that SPOT that place. I'm not on that joint. But you can hear me everywhere else. And that is Brokedown Podcast. Or you can go to this very catchy short URL, brokedownpodcast.blogspot.com. The Helping Friendly podcast is gone and then back, and then I think back and gone and back. And I think we're going to be doing some more. We're going to do some live shows weekly for a little bit. That is, live video things on the internet, and they'll come out in the regular feed as well. So if you already subscribe to the Helping Friendly podcast, you'll hear it there, or watch for us on Twitter at HFPod, and you'll know when we go live. And then for the music, check out my Bandcamp. Everybody knows Bandcamp, right? You guys all love Bandcamp. It's the best. jmhart.bandcamp.com. You can find the album Sunken Road and a couple singles. The album, there are still CDs left, actual physical, made to put on your shelf with a cover and a spine and a back, and they open and the disc
I like
goes
the cover
in the
art.
machine. Oh, thank you.
You look good. It's a really nice, I like it a lot. It's beautiful.
My daughter took the picture.
Right.
My friend Sean, did
Hell
all
yeah.
the prettiness of it, but my daughter took the photos and
Aww.
and let's see. So yeah, you can get that, and then there's still a single too. BS Blues. There's a 7-inch single that you can buy. I heard you guys like that song.
Yeah, we do.
And there's a flip side on that too. But that's up there. But there's also a couple other singles and some songs that I wrote.
Is that where you mentioned the Christmas song earlier? I want to hear that. Is that on Bandcamp?
Yeah, that's up there. It's called Maybe Next Year. That's an original Christmas song that I wrote.
Perfect.
And dropped before Christmas, whenever that was.
Couldn't have had a better title.
Yeah, the funny thing is the lyric is like, maybe Christmas will fall on a Saturday, but it, of course, this year it did, or this past year it did, but I didn't let that stop me. That's just
you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, you get it. Next year it'll make more sense.
Before,
well, I mean, maybe I'm asking too much, Jonathan.
No,
but right before we got on, you had your guitar. Could you do something cute on the way out?
Yeah, you got to do something cute though.
With your,
if it's
with
not
your
cute,
guitar.
we
if
don't
you
want
feel
you to
like
fucking
it,
do it, man.
If you feel like,
I don't know what's
that.
cute. Do you guys know? I don't know.
I mean, so many things under my dictionary. So many things fall under that category.
And also, while you're getting set up, I just want to tell everybody that's listening to, No Simple Road, in no small part, owes a debt of gratitude and thank you to Jonathan.
Yes.
We would not be with Osiris Media if it was not for Jonathan. It is 100% because he introduced us to RJ and facilitated that connection. And just thank you, dude, for real. I told you in Vegas, face to face, but I'm saying it so everybody can hear it with it listens. Like, it means the world to us.
Yeah, it does.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Well, you guys
Brought us
are
into the
cool,
fold.
and I definitely recognize that, and I told RJ, but everything else that's really owed to yourselves, because you guys have made this like I was like, they got a cool little thing. They sit on the porch, they talk to cool people, and you should check them out, RJ, and you guys have really made something of it. And,
thanks, man.
Osiris, they're helpful, right? But you guys
Totally.
did it. And you guys have,
Thank you,
you
man.
guys have really put together a pretty kick-ass thing here. And I'm impressed. And I'm constantly
Thanks.
impressed by your
Aw.
guests, and occasionally jealous, but not in a bad jealous. Just like, oh man,
I
We
get
get
it.
it.
for them.
We get it.
Yes,
I get it.
Yeah, we get that one.
We
too.
get jealous too for
Us
other
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm like, oh man, they got that guest also. I'll have to hear what they asked, because every now and then we double up, which is cool, folks.
Yeah.
So check out, every now and then, Brokedown
Oh, that's
Pod
true.
and No Simple Road. We've talked to the same people, but I guarantee the conversations are different. So,
Yeah,
'cause
That's
we,
what I appreciate about your show too. It does bring out something completely different than what anybody else would.
Totally.
Like you.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
that,
Thank you
Jonathan.
very much.
I appreciate what you said, man. Thank you, brother.
You guys are
All right,
awesome.
let's hear something
So
cute.
I don't
Thanks.
leave a little pause there so you can edit all of this out. So I don't know how this will sound.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I don't even know what I'm doing. So what am I going to
it's
do
perfect.
here? You want to hear just
As
a
long
song?
as long as it's
Just like
cute.
Yeah,
a song?
something cute.
I mean, I just
Okay.
like to not have you do something when you already have it around. It seems kind of like a bummer. And I
That's
just
just
wanna-
like it's always here, but that's cool. I got you covered. No worries. You'll have to trim this down while I'm stalling.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Because I don't know what I'm going to play you right now, but
This is the 45-minute BS blues.
yeah, how about I just play you the short little BS blues?
All right, I like short little BS blues.
All right, let's see. I got a capo here. I think I tuned this today. It's close enough for rock and roll or whatever I play.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this so maybe it'll get some guitar on it.
Let me hear.
Still hear me all right there, yeah?
Yeah, you're good.
I tell them I don't when I do. I tell them I'm black when it's blue. I tell them it's right and I know that it's wrong. I might just deny this a whole damn song. Don't ask me no questions, won't tell you no lies. Then again, maybe I might. Nothing's for certain, or so I have learned. Facts are illusions where I am concerned. You order hot coffee, you're getting it cold. You order fresh bread, well, you got mold. You order for here, you're gonna get it to go. More and more likely, I won't even show. I tell them I don't when I do. I tell them it's black when it's blue. I tell them it's right, and I know that it's wrong. And I might just deny this a whole damn song.
That was totally cute,
Perfect.
Jonathan.
Oh,
Aw.
right on, brother.
Thank you
Yes.
for that. Oh, I love that so
Thank you.
much.
Jonathan, man, we love you, brother. Thank you for hanging out with us, man.
Hey, I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me
Aw.
on. It's great to see you, even virtually. Hope
Yeah.
to see you personally again sometime in the very near.
I know.
Yeah, to
And,
boogie again.
It's coming,
in
man.
person.
It's coming.
Absolutely.
I have hope.
Cool. Y'all take it easy.
All right,
You
we'll talk
too,
to you soon.
All right,
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Later, brother.
Thank you.
That was super fun.
Uh-huh.
There's one of the things that I love about him is his dry sense of humor.
Yes, he's very witty and
Mhm.
yeah, has that sense of humor that
It's dry.
it makes you think.
I love it.
Yes.
I was gonna say I had an older brother. I don't talk to him anymore, but he's still alive. I still have him.
Still have
Yeah.
him. Just,
But I have an older brother. His name is Mark, and he has that same, like, very witty, very dry. And if you don't know him, it's like,
delivery that's
are you kidding?
yeah.
You have to wonder, but if you know him, it's fucking hilarious. I love that, dude.
Well, I just remember when we finally got the chance to meet Jonathan in person when we were in Vegas for Phish.
Oh, that was
It,
so
it
fun.
was that was such a blast to get to
Dude.
hang out and to boogie together and
Oh man, Darwin just tore it up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that'll
Right
take the.
on,
I'm glad
Darwin.
there's not like a lot of paint on in here. 'Cause it
well, and
would
thank
start
goodness,
peeling.
yeah, you guys know now we're in a bigger studio, so that kind of gives us a little more air.
Yeah. Wow,
It can
far out.
fan out more. Oh,
What I was going to say
Anyway,
before
wow.
we were chemically
crop
warfared,
dusted.
that was one of my favorite parts of going to see Phish in Vegas. Was I don't remember if it was at set break or not, but it was at some point during the show. I looked over and Jonathan was just next to us,
Standing
just
next to
appeared. And I was like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" And then about 10 minutes later, I looked over to my right, and RJ just
RJ
appeared.
popped up.
It was fucking awesome. Had so much fun dancing with those guys. And, it's weird to have met somebody and like worked with them online for years and then not have met them,
Yeah.
and I think,
To feel we went one to when we listened, they like him listening to us listening to him. You feel like you really, I mean, you know a person very well without ever meeting them
yeah,
and giving a hug and stuff. So that was a long time coming.
man, I think we might have talked about this on the show, but it's come up more lately since quarantine ended and we've been back out going to shows and stuff, is that like listeners, when they meet us, are like, I've been listening to you guys for almost 5 years. Like, I know you guys. And they do.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they
Because
really,
we talk
really
about
do
everything.
And how does that make you feel, dude?
It's a trip. I actually now I really like it. At first it was kind of weird. Like we've talked about this and Mel has said it too. Like at first it was kind of like, oh shit. And we got to think back about all the stuff we shared, which is like so much. But now I love it because people want to come up and approach us and we're a friendly bunch. We love
Are we?
people. Huh?
Are we?
I think so.
Yeah,
Very much so.
we are.
Especially I mean, everybody has their moment, but when we are out doing our thing and doing, it's I want to meet everybody at festivals and hang out. And because those are, we're your people, you're our people, we're all family. And it's amazing now. I'm over the part of anybody that's been listening knows how much we share. I share all my medical condition stuff. Because our whole thing, none of us are alone in what we're going through, no matter how weird or whatever your medical thing is or something. There is somebody else out there going through the same thing. And it's good to know that you're not alone, that we're all in this boat together.
Yeah.
And I dig it. I love it when people come up to us, meeting new people. It's amazing.
I think that for me, I forget that part of it. I forget that they've heard all about me and Mel, or they know our daughter and our grandson, or they know all the shit that we've been through and just all of it. I forget that. And it's just oh, you listen to the show. The show is, to me, the show is a person.
Yeah.
And it's oh, you know Carl? Oh, cool. I know Carl too. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. I get what you mean.
And so when they're I fucking know you guys, I dig it. Me too.
Yeah.
And it just never occurred to me that was going to be a thing. I never thought about that before. I never thought about that. By doing this, people are going to get to know you. I thought that by doing this, people would know, know of you,
about us.
Yeah, of you. But
no, they know a lot of detail.
Yeah.
One, in this day and age too, not only do they know what we look like, they know what our house looks like, our studio, with social media.
Yeah.
They know what Darwin everything we talk about, they pretty much know what it looks like. They see our posts from going to shows. We see theirs. We see all of you people that listen, that follow us. We follow you. We all know each other in this weird modern sense of social media and technology.
Yeah. And but something that I don't know if this is just peculiar to No Simple Road or not, but I think we're a little different in that if you went to most podcast Instagram pages, you might see the hosts, right? You might see the studio, or if they're on a vacation.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing into their lives.
Seeing us dancing in the driveway.
Yeah,
and
you're not
get-togethers.
Exactly. And
dancing at shows and acting like fools
and
sometimes.
most I would say the bigger shows, they're not responding when you're DMing them, or if they are, it's a team member that's handling that.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? We're very
personal,
hands-on.
Yeah.
With everything. It's one of us that answers every time the DMs, you're getting.
Yeah,
right
for almost 5 years into this, almost there isn't a single time we have not responded to anybody that's reached out through the tepid line,
unless I've just completely
anything.
Fucking blew it and dropped the ball.
Yeah, it could have happened. Well, then hit us up again if you are the one out there that said something and is
me, man.
Bullshit. You guys do not respond to everything. Yeah, sometimes things slip through the cracks when you're dealing with hundreds of emails.
But I think that's something that's different with us, maybe, and also the I don't know. I've just been thinking about that lately, about how the No Simple Road community is really a thing, and trying to figure out ways to be able to engage with them and have them engage with each other more.
Yeah.
So that the community grows, because seeing friendships between Nate and Buzz and Nola that grew just from No Simple Road.
Yeah. Who are now
those
best
are
friends and
They
going
go
to shows,
yeah.
meeting up all the time.
Why can't we do that for more of the No Simple Road family? I was telling Apple and Mel the other day, one of the things that I've been kind of tossing around is having No Simple Road meetups in cities where, if somebody in that city, if you, let's say you lived in Denver, and you wanted to be the Denver, like, No Simple Road liaison, or I don't know what the fuck it would be called, then you would set up the meetups and go to shows with other people that listen to No Simple Road. And like, if you're one of those people that doesn't have other people to hang out with to go to shows, that would be fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know, instant family, instant crew. Or if you got a crew of 20 people and you want 25, you know,
and then grow the cruise.
Yeah. So I think that would be dope. But I haven't figured out exactly.
Well, you're throwing it out there now.
Well,
so if any of the listeners have any ideas, or somebody wants to jump in and be like, hey, man, I'm your Cincinnati dude, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, because like Abigail Hackman, like, she is going to street team for us.
Yeah.
And like, people have Rain street team for us. Like, several people have street team for us. And let's take it a step further. Let's do some meetups, and you guys can like meet up at a show. And then, you know,
and that's what going to shows is all about. That's one reason we've always gone to shows, and why we do what we do now too, is to grow community and to pull this all together.
Yeah.
All this love. That's one of the greatest things about I mean, we all go to the shows to go see the band we love, but one of the best parts is meeting new people and dancing with strangers and stuff, and just having a fun time. I can't think of a show that I've ever gone to where I don't leave like having made another connection.
Yeah, at least one person that you hung out with at that show that you're going to see at the next one. Like, hey, fuck yeah, man, right on. Yeah.
And then sometime then you see them again and again. Next thing you know, you exchange numbers, you're hanging out, and, you know, that's the way it goes.
Cody, perfect example.
Yeah, Cody, when we played, what was the first time?
Eugene.
Yeah, when we were at Autzen for Dead and Company. He came up and bought a shirt that Nola had made.
Yep.
And talked to us for a little bit. Next thing you know, you're one of our best friends.
Yep.
He over here all the time. We love that guy.
Cody made it to my favorites list on my phone.
What?
Yeah,
I'm not even on your favorites list.
Yeah, you are. Look, you're right here, man.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to show you.
I don't even have a favorites list.
You don't use this?
No, not at all.
Wow.
I've never used a favorites list.
Oh, yeah, you're the dictating.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah. And I just feel I can't make a favorites list because
it's not
exclude somebody.
Apple. It's the people you talk
Call
to
the
the most.
I know what it is.
It's not.
I'm not that old.
Maybe there's a person on there that's not really my favorite, but I talk to them all the time.
So they make it to your favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't play favorites.
Okay. Whatever. Dude.
I love everybody.
Old man.
You know,
where were we? Oh yeah, community.
I don't know. I can't hear you. Where's my flugelhorn from my ear? What?
Where's my sweater? I want some ice cream.
It's cold, Eddie. Do you know what time it is?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Here's the deal, dude. Like, the past 2 years have been traumatic. Let's call it what it is. That's trauma that we all went through. That's a thing.
Yes.
And one of the reasons that it was traumatic is we were disconnected from, first of all, from the thing that we love the most, which is live music. But I'm talking about the connection with other human beings.
Yeah,
like
each other.
We were
family.
relegated to our little houses or apartments, or if you're lucky enough to have a house or apartment, and you weren't around other people. And we are social creatures. Human beings need other human beings to get by. If we didn't, we would be solo beings living in the forest in little hobbit holes and never talking to anybody.
Yeah, it would be weird.
Yeah, we're social creatures, and so having that happen was traumatic for everybody, whether you realize it or not. And so, coming out of that, I would like to be part of the medicine that heals that trauma. You know, we have the ability to connect people with other people. This is what was going on in my head the other day when I was thinking about meetups and shit. And I was like, you know, we have a platform. How can we use it to better connect the people that listen to the show? Because another thing that's happened over the past few months is the listenership to the show has gone up.
Yes.
A lot. And so there's more people listening than ever before right now. And all those people should know each other as far as I'm concerned and make each other's lives better.
Yeah, because you have that connection. Like this started out the connection of Grateful Dead with everybody. That is a deep connection.
Yeah, man.
That's how this started out, and they're creating more connections. And connections are important.
They absolutely are. Yeah, man. We've talked about it ad nauseum. So, man, I think the main thing is figuring out a way to get our community more engaged with each other so that we raise the vibe and spread love. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. So listen, if you're listening to the show right now and you have an idea how we can pull this off, shoot me an email, man.
We are open to suggestions.
Yeah, I am not a well, I kind of am a logistics guy. If Mel was here, she'd be like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. That's like you saying I'm not a stats guy, but
anyway.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I am having a hard time figuring this one out. So if somebody could give me a hand with that, I will really appreciate it. That'd be super cool. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff on the calendar, man. We scored some tickets to see Billy Strings in Troutdale.
Two nights.
Okay. Every time Billy has come to Portland, we have either left that morning or are leaving that night.
Yeah, something conflicted. So yeah, these are in stone. We're not changing this.
And so I hate to even admit this on the show. I've never seen Billy Strings live.
No.
And so Ben and I were having a conversation a few weeks ago about Billy. And Ben was like all shot out of a cannon about Billy Strings. Just like, Billy's the fuck best. Woo! Yeah. And I was like, I get it, Ben. I get it. I love Billy. He's the most talented guitar player around. Like, he's fucking amazing. Music is awesome, but I've never seen him live, and I can't connect the feeling until I see him.
That live music.
Yeah, I have no frame of reference for him. Like, that feeling of like wanting to make you cry when you hear something awesome, or like the chills that you get at live music. I don't have that with Billy Strings because I have never energetically gone and seen him physically play. And so Ben was like, oh, dude, because they hadn't announced the Billy Strings shows here yet. And Ben was like, dude, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if it's across the country. I want to be standing next to you
when the
moment happens and you get it. He's like, I would pay any amount of money to see the childlike glee. This is a quote. The childlike glee and joy on your face when you finally connect to it. You're going to fucking love it. And so today.
Now it's going to happen.
Yeah. The Billy's pre-sale was today. And it was tickets went on sale at 10 o'clock. So I had a thing set on my phone at 9:50 to remind me at 10 o'clock to get on and buy the tickets. And so the thing goes off at 9:50, and I look at my phone, and I'm outside with Darwin having a smoke, just chilling. And I'm like, oh, yeah, 10 minutes, no problem. I won't forget.
And you forgot.
Totally fucking forgot. And so I'm walking up the hill with the dog back into the house, and phone rings. It's Bryce. And Bryce is like, yo, man, you get your Billy tickets? And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go. And I hung up.
Click. Thanks, Bryce. Click. Talk to you in a while.
Got my tickets. Called Bryce back and was like, dude, good fucking looking out, man. So, yeah. One more reason it's important to have people in your life. Because when you're a fucking space cadet and you forget half the shit you ever think you're going to remember, you got somebody watching. You got
family watching out. Well, that is even important enough. Well, never mind. You said it was a mistake that you called, but you called me at work. You never call. You get annoyed when I call you. Like, why don't you just text, dude? You called me. I always answer. Like, I was in the middle of doing stuff, but it was like, Aaron's calling me? What the fuck happened? The house on fire? So bro, I got Billy Strings tickets. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
And I called Mel and told her too. I was excited.
Yeah.
And he's playing Friday and Saturday. And I went on and I got the Friday tickets. And then I was like, okay, cool. We got Friday tickets. And then I went through this whole fucking thing in my head of like, should we buy Saturday tickets? I was like, I think Fridays. And then I was like, we're all going to want to go. And then I remembered Mel and I with Phish going, book the run. We made a mistake. Always book the run.
Yeah. Worst come to worst, you got an extra ticket to miracle somebody or to sell. You know,
No, those tickets are going to go to good use.
Oh yeah, we're going to use them, but yeah, you never get the one day.
Yeah. So, well, see, here's the thing, and I said this to Mel today when I talked to her on the phone because I told her the story I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
And I said I was just going to get Friday tickets, and she went, "Why?" And I was like, "Holy shit, babe, you have changed so much."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, a few years ago."
She's become a no simple road warrior.
Totally.
Because she would have a while ago,
100%.
Mel, and you know it, Mel would have been like, I got to get up and go to work Sunday. And then now it's like, so
Book
what?
the run, let's go.
So
Woo,
what? I'm
Billy
tired the
Strings.
next day.
Yeah.
That's when you called me at work, my boss overheard my conversation. Every time I talk to her, she's like, what now? Because she knows we booked something, and it usually means I'm going to take more time off. And I was like, it's a Friday and a Saturday night. She's all, yeah, but you're going to be worthless on Monday. I was like, no, not Monday. I'll be good by Wednesday. And she just like laughed and was like, you asshole.
Do you think you'll be good by Wednesday?
Yeah, yes. I'm
don't
always
think you'll be
good by Wednesday.
Well, you know what? I laugh and kid. Wednesday, like if the show is on a Friday, if there's a Friday, Saturday show, Wednesday is usually the first day I'm back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I'm usually like in that liminal space between outer space and inner space.
But you're like, no
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
matter where we're at, we do show up for work.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to get a good job out of it.
Wait a minute.
May just be a little.
Showing up for work and doing your job, two totally different things.
Yeah, well,
At least at my job.
Okay, I say I do my job.
Showing up for work doesn't mean I'm actually doing my job.
Luckily, my job is just coordinating buying more weed and cannabis things and stuff, which is fun no matter what state you're in.
You're so lucky, dude. I don't care how many times we say, you're so fucking lucky, bro.
I know. I count my blessings all the time. I get sometimes like, I don't want to work in the cannabis industry anymore. It's complicated. And it's like, oh wait, I love what
Apple.
I do. I've done a lot more complicated and
you were a fucking legal
useless
assistant,
things.
Paralegal. This is less complicated than you're selling weed.
Much less.
Bro.
And it's not, I did a whole lot of construction and other things. It's not like I'm not breaking my back or knees anymore.
Let me break this
anything.
down for you.
Yeah.
You're a weed dealer.
Yep.
That's and
Or not just a weed dealer, a person everybody wants to sell their weed to. I love it.
Yeah. And guess what, man? Nobody's going to put you in a cage. That's fucking rad.
No, that's true. I said the toughest part of my job is because in Oregon and most legal, especially in Oregon, there are so many good farms, products. Like I need like a Costco size dispensary. I wish we had like a Costco size so I could carry everybody's stuff. I hate having to talk because I want to buy all the weeds. But I can't. Like anything, you have a budget. Every week you have a budget, and times have been tight and slower, like the last 6 months especially.
Budgets are for losers.
And I hate it. I got a lot, like any of you listening out there, me, anybody in the cannabis world, we form these relationships, and when things are going good, you're getting stuff all the time. Like every week you're seeing your people, and you're buying up all the weed. Now it's like having to pick and choose, and it's tough. And
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
You don't want to disappoint, but
poor you has to differentiate between
cannabis
really good
cannabis
weed.
industry. You got to be you have to be able to handle rejection. It happens a lot.
It's like graphic design, same thing.
I guess that's life.
Yeah, you have to be able to handle rejection.
Right, be able to handle rejection, or you're gonna have a tough time of it.
So, we were already here on Tuesday with you guys.
Yeah.
And we went over our week. Mel's in LA visiting with Jasper. That's why you're not hearing her, and Sydney. And
nothing in the world matters right now to Mel other than that baby of the world.
Yeah. And
which that's so
as
awesome.
It should
She's
be.
down there.
Grandma should be like that. Nunu should be singularly laser focused on her grandson. Yeah, I mean, nothing new has happened in 2 days for me to really, except for Billy Strings.
No, we talked about the other. You guys know about. We did the studio swap. Aaron posted pictures of that, and it's just coming together. Little decorations, painting my room tomorrow night, and just getting things set up. The household has needed a little new feng shui rearrangement, and it's amazing.
Yeah, man, this. Well, I mean, if you listen to the episode that we dropped on Tuesday, this whole thing is a game changer, man. The whole vibe of the house has been significantly altered because of this, and it's in the best way possible. So, I think we should leave it at that. We can just cruise out of here, and
we can cruise out of here and let you go listen to J.M. Hart.
Yeah,
listen to the album, and if you didn't catch the Tuesday drop of the Grateful Dead Tarot, you need to go listen to that.
Yeah, that episode's amazing.
Yeah, and then after you do that, go all the way back to episode 1 and start listening to all the
episodes.
Over.
Yeah, just keep going.
On the whole story, because man, we've come a long way.
Hey, everybody, I'm just gonna run it down for you real quick in case you're a fast forwarder or one of those people. Check it out. If you go to NoSimpleRoad.com, you can sign up for a tarot reading with me and Mel. You can also buy merch there. And then we are asking for submissions at nosimpleroad@gmail.com of poems from poets aged 25 and under for the new No Simple Disruption podcast that's coming as a collaboration between John Medeski, Jeff Firewalker Schmidt, and No Simple Road. You can call the Tepid line at 971-808-1524 and talk about any fucking thing in the whole wide world. So please give it a call.
You can leave us those reviews on Apple Podcast.
Yes. And remember to hang out with the No Simple Road sponsors too, like Shop Tour Bus, Electric Fish Lights, Grady's.
Define Premium Cannabis if you're up in the area.
Yeah. Fin and Wheel. What am I forgetting? BetterHelp.
Got
a lot of sponsors, man. People helping us keep the
Fin and Will. You said Fin and Will. Well, we just said it twice. No, actually, like 3 times now.
What did you say?
Yeah, Fin and Will.
Time is
go check out those dope prints, man.
All right, everybody, we love you guys. You're the best. We will be back next week with more stuff and things. I don't know if we're going to do 2 next week. We're absolutely not going to do 2 next week. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just talking shit now.
Yeah, we're not sure. There will be more.
But we will be back by Thursday of next week. So fear not. We're not leaving you lonely.
Yeah.
And if any of you out there can think of a way to pull off this like meetup thing, hit me up, man, because I am open to suggestions. I need your help.
Yeah,
I'm calling all No Simple Road family.
And we're more than happy to help facilitate whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Wash your hands. Those fucking things are gross. I mean, you put them everywhere. Safety third.
Most importantly, take care of yourself and tell a loved one about our show.
Yeah. Or somebody you don't like. I don't care. Either way, tell them.
But it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hell means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
What's up, everyone? It's Joe, and I'm the host of That's Awesome with Joe, a podcast on the newly formed Sound Talent Media Podcast Network. I talk with tons of your favorite artists, managers, touring personnel, and more. Most of the time we talk about music, but lots of the time we end up talking about something completely unrelated. We laugh a lot. We do a lot of really stupid things, but also some things that are really informative and interesting. Basically, it's a podcast that I think you should listen to. Obviously, I'm biased because it's my podcast, but I think I might be into it if I wasn't the host. Check it out at soundtalentmedia.com.